Nothing like a game like this evening to tell you who's who and what's what. The Phillies are your wild card leaders. The Atlanta Braves are the NL East champions and about to set a new home run record for the sport of Major League Baseball. Ricky Pitalico and Michael Barkan. This is Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. And Ricky Bo, I feel that much of the same way Zach Wheeler last night said, I just want to remind him that I'm still around. Yeah. Spencer Strider sent that message tonight to the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, after feeling great about yesterday's game and last night's game and everything went well in that game and you got good pitching, big-time hitting, you didn't really get a lot of that at all in this one, but the Braves did. I mean, you look at Spencer Strider, he was outstanding. He located his fastball very well. He changed up pitches late in the counts. I mean, I said this before. I think the one thing that's special about this Spencer Strider is that he's really only throwing two pitches. He's throwing a fastball and a slider. Not really changing speeds with the slider, but he will change location with the slider with the best of them. And I mean, he had the Phillies all messed up tonight. I mean, they're looking fastball, they're getting a slider. They're looking slider, getting a fastball. That tells me that he knew exactly what he wanted to do with these guys. He had a really good feel for his pitches tonight, and it showed. It showed. And the weird part is, this is the second time that I could remember that he's given up runs after having to sit for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That happened to him, and then the sixth inning, Bryce Harper finally got to him with a home run. But other than that Bryce Harper home run, I mean, it was a hot knife going through butter with him. And for the Phillies, now some question marks again.
Let's switch live now down to Atlanta. Check in with John Kruk and the crossover. John, I think Ricky Bo summed it up, but I'd like to know from you what the heck they're going to be able to do against Spencer Strider. Certainly they handled him last year, but he was somewhat injured, but he was devastating tonight, John.
Well, he's one of the best pitchers in the game, and you know, you kind of expect this from Spencer Strider. You know, the way you beat him is your pitcher better pitch better than him. And Christopher Sanchez was good, but he wasn't as good as Spencer Strider.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. I guess they're not down there in Atlanta yet, are they, John?
No, I think they'll be okay, Rick. I really do. You know, when you have the Ronald Acuña Jr. bat flip bobblehead, and then he hits 2 home runs in the game, yeah, they're going to be okay. I don't think the demise of the Braves is just I don't think it's over just yet, but we'll see.
Finally, is there any message to be sent between the Phillies and the Braves based upon tomorrow's game? You know, I could see if the Phillies swept the Braves, then maybe the Braves are, you know, they're thinking, you know. But now with the Braves win tonight, does it, other than the Phillies and the wild card and maintaining their wild card lead, does a win or a loss go either way towards the postseason and what might happen?
No, I don't think so. What's going to happen in the postseason? But I think tomorrow's important for Aaron Nola. You know, Aaron has been really inconsistent this year, and you know, his last start against the Cardinals, was it against the Cardinals? I think I was there, but.
Yes, it was.
We need Aaron to step in behind Zach as that number 2 guy heading into the postseason, and he's got a couple more starts left for this year to do that. And I think tomorrow's an important one because, look, this is the best offense in baseball. There ain't no getting around that. And you're not going to shut him out more than likely. But, you know, Aaron has to pitch good enough to keep the Phillies in the game tomorrow and you know, then turn it over to the bullpen and let the bullpen do what they do. But I think tomorrow's more important. Not so much win or loss. Of course, you'd love to win it and win 2 out of 3 down here. But it's more important to me for Aaron Nola to face the best lineup in baseball, for him to come out of it with a positive mental outlook on it.
You're absolutely right. It's going to be tough for the Phillies bats, certainly, as Bryce Elder, 12-4 for the Braves with a 3.50. Aaron Nola 12-9 with a 4.62. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, John. We'll talk to you 11:30 or so tomorrow morning. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much. John Kruk joining us from Atlanta. Here the wild card standings up to the moment. We note the Arizona Diamondbacks are trailing the San Francisco Giants right now. That game started about a half hour ago, and at 2-1, the Diamondbacks are behind San Francisco.
And that actually turns into a huge game right now. Diamondbacks lose, at least you don't really necessarily, the ground doesn't change. How about that? Phillies just got to concentrate on winning games right now. I know you said, what do you get out of tomorrow's game? You're probably right. The momentum thing, the whole
you needed a sweep.
The whole mentality thing kind of disappeared after tonight because it was a complete turnaround. I mean, you go from a 7-1 win to a 9-3 drubbing. Let's face it, this game was over early. And what happens is that now the Phillies are thinking, do we have enough firepower to go up against these guys again? So, I mean, I guess it just is going to turn into a wash one way or the other because somebody's going to win 2 out of 3 and move on, and that's that. And then the Phillies have to take care of business the rest of the way out. That's what it really comes down to. No matter what happens tomorrow, you're still looking at the Mets, Pirates, and Mets, and I think the Phillies. It's a good thing. It is a good thing right now for the Phillies. That, but you have to understand that those teams have nothing to lose, so they're going to be gunning for you. I mean, that's the one thing you have to have in the back of your mind is that we have to put together everything we possibly can to put up some good numbers and some good games. And I'm not talking up top because if you do the up top thing, he's still going to lean out over. What you need to do is come in on his hands and don't be afraid to double up in there. All of a sudden you throw something on the outer half, and I'm sure Marte's like, how do you hit that out of the park? Well, you got to look at your pitch sequences.
Yeah, you set him up.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from Rob Thomson now, post game in Atlanta.
So was just 2 times for the order, was that because you want to limit his innings, or was it because you wanted the piggyback thing?
Well, both things. Okay. So last time out, most innings in his career that he's pitched, most pitches for the season.
Right.
His next start will be on 4-day on regular rest. So we're kind of managing that too. Okay. But yeah, start at the top of the lineup, we're going to go to Michael on the 3rd time through, and it just didn't work out.
I mean, what do you make of Lorenzo? It had been a while since he pitched, but But what do you think?
Well, he threw strikes. He just couldn't. There wasn't any swing and miss, and and a lot of foul balls, and it comes down to execution, really.
It's not like 6 appearances since the no-hitter. I think his ERA is 9.23.
Yeah.
How much of a concern is that?
A little bit, because my concerns on no-hitters and complete games and things like that, and guys bouncing back. But now he's coming out of the bullpen, so that's another new thing. So, but we'll get him some more work, and he'll be able to bounce back here in a couple of days.
So Sanchez starts Sunday,
yeah,
right? And then is the piggyback thing over?
Well, we'll see. We haven't really discussed it, but Michael's open to anything. He's a great team guy, and so I got to talk to Caleb and figure it out.
Because some of us have to bring him back sooner than Sunday, right? Because he only threw 37 pitches.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll have to give him a couple days, though.
Okay. Yeah.
So, when he's past 35 pitches as that's rising, is that the impetus to take him out? Like, if he was giving up runs, but the pitch count was in a manageable place, would you have kept him in?
Probably in that situation where you're down 6-7-0, as long as we feel like he's not going to be in harm's way health-wise, we'll probably leave him in, until, you don't want to embarrass anybody. But
do you think you can get him straightened out with 11 games to go?
Yeah, I think so.
And I guess, why do you think you can get him straightened out, or what's your confidence?
He's a veteran, and I think getting him back used to coming out of the bullpen, might take an outing or two, but I think it's in there.
What do you see as his biggest obstacle at this point?
Soft contact, swing and miss, that type of thing. So it's execution of pitches.
Is it like finishing guys with 2 strikes?
Yeah.
And then, for the first 5 innings, Strider was, what did you think? Was he about as good as he gets?
Yeah, he was good. He was on his game tonight.
With the guy who has that kind of overpowering stuff, does it even matter if you see him a couple times in a short amount of time? Does that give hitters an advantage, do you think? Or
usually it does, I think. You see a guy over and over and over, usually you figure out how the ball spins and where a slot is and how pitches are moving. But he was really good tonight.
Do you see Strider having any weaknesses? It's going to be tough to get past him.
Now you got to fight. You got to get the fastball down and then break them all up.